Hey, what's up? Most advertisers think their campaigns are set up correctly, but they very often miss a bunch of important stuff. On this live, I'm going to share with you three things, right? Three simple things that Facebook advertisers miss and, how they miss them all the time, right? Once you know about these three things, they are so easy to include in your strategy, in your Facebook ad campaigns, and can help you improve your Facebook ad results and avoid costly mistakes. Hey, what's up? I'm Antonio Thompson from Antonio Thompson Marketing, and I help businesses grow, period, using paid traffic, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google Ads. We do that for customers. All right, so when it comes to running ads, several things that can go wrong, several things that you might miss. But here are three things to help you get better results with your ad campaigns if you are running ads. And the first thing I want to share with you is that you want to make sure that you're focusing on the right metrics, right? If you're running an ad campaign, right, what is it that you want to accomplish with that campaign, right? Do you want leads? Do you want sales, right? You want to look at your ad account and see what numbers actually are important to you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and show you an example of what I'm talking about when it comes to looking at the metrics, right? So I go to my how do I change screen? There we go, change screen there. If I go to my computer screen here, you'll see two campaigns here, right? One is actually for a webinar. The other is for a lead magnet, right? And I'm just going to use the lead magnet as the example to begin. So I'm going to click on the campaign, which is here. We're going to go to the ad set level. Here you have three different ad sets within a campaign, right? And our objective here is to generate leads, right? Our goal is to get leads. That's what we want. And so when I'm looking at the data here, I'm asking myself, am I getting leads from this campaign? And the second question is, what is it costing me to get a lead? And is it within my KPI, right? My key performance indicator? Is it the cost that I'm willing to pay for a lead? And if it's not the cost, like what can I do to adjust it? And what should I do if something isn't working correctly, right? So in this campaign here, we got three ad sets, right? One targeting some influencers, one targeting this interest called self-love, and this other interest targeting the Gottman Institute, right? And if I look on the right-hand side here, you can see our results here, right? So from the Gottman Institute, we got 106 leads at $1.13. Self-love, we got 69 leads at $1.20 and 97 leads for the influence at $1.32. Now, when I talk about leads, these are actually people who have opted in and gave me their name and email to get something of value, right? They're on my email list. So let's say for this example, my KPI, the amount I'm willing to spend on a lead is $1.50, right? So in this case, at the ad set level, right, I am reaching my KPI, right? $1.50 per lead. If I go into, I'm getting $1.13 leads here, I'm getting $1.20 leads here, I'm getting $1.32 leads here. That's what's important to me, right? Lead costs. Yes, I got a purchase here of a product that was $78.16, but that's not the objective of this particular campaign. The objective of this campaign is to get leads, and I'm getting that result at my KPI, which is $1.50. Now, if I go into the ad level, right? If I go to, let me actually do this one by one. So if I go into the influencer ad level, right? And actually, this is not going to work because I'm using dynamic creative, so it's not the perfect example. So don't worry about that. But if you had an ad set that had multiple ads in it, you would be able to see, right, which ad is giving you different results, right? Maybe one image is giving you a cost per lead at $1. Maybe another image is giving you a cost at $5, right? It just depends, and you can make adjustments based off of those results. But in this case, we are using dynamic creative, so we have multiple. I'll open this up real quick. You'll see we got multiple assets inside the campaign, right? So we got 5 different assets, so 3 images and 2 videos here, right, being ran at the same time. Now we could actually, I wonder if it gives me a breakdown. Let's see. Oh, it actually does. Okay. So here we go. So I can get a breakdown here of which image is giving me what cost per lead, right? So in this case, I got 34 leads from this image here, $1.23. I got, this image here gave me 31 leads at $1.22. And this image here this video here gave me 4 leads at 78 cents. So you're getting some intel in terms of what is actually working with your campaign. I could also look at, which text, right? Because we're varying text here is giving me results. So I've got 2 different text variations here. One is 33 leads, and one is 36 leads. I can also look at headlines, I think, as well. Very different headlines here. Yep. So 35 and 34. So I'm not going to change anything here because it's all within my KPI. But if I had a campaign that was not within my KPI, I would make some adjustments here. And I can do this for all 3 ad sets and see, exactly which images are giving me good results and which aren't, right? So these 2 images for the influencers are giving me the most leads here, 75-22. Let's go down further, right? The self-love, 35, 34, 31, 4. And then here is interesting, 102 leads from this particular image here and 4 from this image here. So that's one example. Let me go into the other ad set or the other campaign. And this is a webinar campaign, right? So we're doing a webinar, got 103 registrants at a cost per registrant of $4.54. Right, our goal here is not for purchases, not for leads. It's really to get people to register for the webinar. And at the ad set level, right, we can see where we're at. And so let's say my KPI for this particular campaign was $5. Right, I wanted to get registrants for $5, nothing more than $5. And so if I'm looking at this and the numbers, right, I could say, all right, this ad set here got me 1 lead and it cost me $9.07. I'm gonna turn that campaign off, right? This campaign here, 18 leads at $5.76. I'm gonna investigate and see if there's anything I can do to get that cost down. And what would I do? Right, I would go into the ad level and see what we got going on, right? So we got 2 images running here, right? We got one image that has given us 13 registrations at $4.56. Got another image that gave us 5 registrations at $8.87. So one ad is giving us registrations at our KPI and the other ad is not giving us registrations at our KPI. So what would I do? I wouldn't turn off this entire ad set. I would turn off this individual ad here that's not giving me the results I want. So I'll turn that ad off there. And boom. And now I'm only running this campaign. I'm going to see how it does now that this ad is off, right? So I should be getting leads around that same price point. Same thing here. I would go through, right? This is giving me, cost per registration at $4.86, right? I'll go into the ad level and see what's going on, right? I can see that in this case, right, image 1 is giving me a lead cost at $3.70, and image 2 is at $5.87. So I would actually turn this ad off, right? Because it's above my KPI. I only want to spend or generate registrants at $5 a lead. That's the maximum to spend. So I'm making adjustments at this ad level. I do the same thing with the influencers here, right? And look, right? So I'm getting lead costs at $4.05 and $2.65. So I'm going to keep both of these campaigns on because they're both at my target KPI, right? Let me know if that makes sense. And I have another audience here. If I go back, go here. This is my my warm audience, and technically, traditionally, that should give me generally low cost leads. But let's see what we're doing here. So in this particular case, we've got leads at for image 1 at $5.24 per lead, and image 2 at $3.55 per lead. So I'm going to turn this one off, right? And so that's how we make decisions on our campaigns, right? Focusing on the most important metric. Now, there are other things you can do to get lead costs down, but in terms of looking at the campaign and making decisions, right? We want to do that based off of what our ideal KPI is, but also what are the key metric that we're looking to accomplish. Do we want leads? Are we going for registrants? Do we want sales? We're making adjustments based off of that. All right, let me come back to the screen here and see if we got any questions about what I just shared. So that's tip number 1, right? Focusing on the most important data, the most important metric is important. Okay? Questions about that before I keep going? Questions about metrics? Let me know in the comments before I continue on to number 2. Let me know. All right, put your questions in the comment and I will respond momentarily. Number 2, right? And we're talking about, if you're just hopping on, come out, say what's up. We're talking about, 3 mistakes or 3 common mistakes that marketers make when they're running Facebook ads. If you have questions, put them in the comments below. I'll get to them. But tip number 2 is most marketers forget the importance of the ad creative, right? They forget the importance of the ad creative. If you think about this from a user of the platform, right? When you're on Facebook or any other platform, what are you doing, right? You're looking, you're scrolling, you're seeing what captures your attention, right? And so if your ad creative is not speaking to the audience that you want to reach, they are not going to stop and respond. If your ad creative is not enticing, engaging, if it's not grabbing attention, people are not going to respond to that particular ad. And so you could do all the targeting in the world, right? You could target, 500 interests. I don't recommend that. You could target so many interests and your ad can still fail because your creative is not speaking to the audience you want to target. You conversely, right? You could create an ad and have no targeting and it can perform well because your ad speaks to a defined audience and Facebook can actually go out there and find the person that you're looking for, right? And so when it comes to, I'm gonna come back to that example that I just showed you here. Let me go to my screen. Where is it at? Let's go back to Chrome. All right, back in Chrome here. All right, if I go back to this example here and I go to, let's say, this was a Gottman Institute as an example, right? So in this particular ad set, we're targeting an organization and a person. Where is it at? This is all about, so we're targeting American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy, Dr. Dan Siegel, the Gottman Institute. This is all about relationships. And so this webinar is all about, the secrets to loving yourself and others, right? And it's all about creating a joyous life and loving relationships, right? And so people who are, struggling maybe in their marriage or relationships, right? This ad is particularly targeted to them. And so if I can open this up in a new window, right? So if someone is struggling in their relationship and they read this and they say, oh, this is for me, right? I'm feeling some shame and self-abandonment in my relationships, right? I'm trying to heal some guilt and anxiety, some relationship problems. And so this might be the solution for me, right? And so when you think about creating your ad copy and your images, you want to make sure it speaks to the people that you want to reach. Not very generic, right? Not very you want to be specific, right, with who you are trying to talk to, right? If it's stay-at-home moms, and you want to speak to them, say that in your copy. If it's people who are trying to buy or sell homes, make sure that comes across in your copy, in your images, right? Because people are scrolling through their feeds very quickly. You need something that's going to capture their attention quick, fast, and in a hurry. Okay? Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. I'm trying to get back to this screen here. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments. So tip number 1 was, focusing in on the most important metrics, right? Tip number 2 was, recognizing the importance of ad creative. And tip number 3 is all about your ad campaigns need to produce results before you start scaling, right? There's this notion that if I spend more money, it'll see more people, and then I'll get my results, right? That's actually counterproductive, right? When you start an ad campaign and you think that by increasing your budget and spending more money, you're gonna get more results, you're gonna get very minimal results, and it's gonna cost you more money to get those results, right? So if you're starting out with a small budget, let's say it's 20, 25 bucks a day, right? Start with that small budget and get some results, and then scale up. If you're not getting the results you want initially with a small budget, increasing the budget isn't really going to help you scale and get the results you want. So for example, if I go and show you like not how this works, but how Facebook looks at, as you scale your budget up, it's not as mathematical as we think. So I'm gonna share my screen here. And this is an example of just a campaign I just started, or just an example campaign that I started here, right? Facebook will give you an estimated number of results, right? So based on this particular campaign here, if I'm spending, let's say 25 bucks a day, this is an estimate, Facebook is estimating that I will get 5 leads with that budget, right? For 25 bucks a day. Now, if I increase my budget to $50, some would say, oh, increase my budget to $50 a day, and now I'm getting 10 leads. But that's not necessarily the case, right? So if I increase my budget based off of this estimated graph here to 50 bucks, right, I'm probably going to end up somewhere around 7 leads, not 10, right? So you have to recognize that this is not an equal mathematical equation, right? Spend 25 bucks, get 5 leads. Spend 50 bucks, get 10 leads, right? It doesn't work that way. It's a gradual process. And so if you're not getting the KPIs you want at your initial budget, increasing your budget is only going to make things I'm going to say worse. It's not going to scale the way you want it to scale, right? So you have to focus on, let me hone in on, the 2 things I talked about. Make sure I'm looking at the right metrics, making sure my accuracy is speaking to the audience, make sure that things are actually working at a smaller budget, and then gradually increasing the budget up to get more results. But thinking that simply by, spending more money on a campaign or an ad that isn't performing the way you want to perform is going to, by some default, get you more results is false thinking. Okay? So that's what I got for you tonight. Those 3 things, right? Making sure that you are focusing on the right metrics, right? What's most important to you in that campaign? Is it leads? Great. What is the cost per lead that you want? Right? And if you're not meeting that result or goal with certain ad sets and campaigns, turn things off that aren't working, and then keep the ones that are going. Now add to that, right? If your entire campaign is not at your KPI, right? If I go back to the example there, for a second, right? If the entire campaign if this entire campaign, if all these all the ads, if all the ad sets had a cost per result of $5 and change, and I wasn't reaching my target number, I would want to look at certain other metrics to uncover why that is. Right? Are people clicking on the ad? Right? How many people are clicking on the ad? Are they clicking on the ad, going to the landing page and opting in? If they're not, then there's a disconnect there, right? But if you're not, hitting your KPIs, there's something else you need to look at. But if you are hitting your KPIs in certain ad sets, right, look deeper into the ads and see, okay, are there ads that are performing, at KPI, key performance indicators, or those that are not performing at KPI, and make adjustments. The second thing is making sure that you understand and recognize the importance of your ad creative, right? So there's this, I would use this saying, I heard this several months ago. The ad was it? Now I'm gonna mess it up. The ad finds the audience, not the audience finds the ad. I think that's what it said. Actually, I think I wrote it down on my page somewhere. The ad, I'm gonna find the quote. Actually, let me go to my page and find the quote real quick because I don't want to butcher this. But it's basically saying that your ad creative is what defines the audience, right? Not the targeting, there's some cool targeting options on Facebook, although they got rid of some things, but the targeting is minuscule in comparison to your creative, right? And the quote goes, I'm trying to find it. Let me find it. If you have questions, put them in the comments below. I'm definitely, want to answer anything you have here. Questions, problems, concerns about ads, but let me know if you have anything. Oh man, I'm trying to find this now. Okay, it says the ad finds the audience, not the audience finds that ad, right? So your ad is out there putting things in the marketplace, telling your audience that this is for them, and they click on the ad. Not that you put an ad out there, right, and you tweak it, you find the correct audiences in this targeting, and you just, let them find it, right? Let the ad creative do the work. So focusing more on your ad creative. And the third piece is, giving your campaign, right, the opportunity to produce results at that budget you set versus, thinking if it's not getting results, I need to spend more money until it can see more people, and then I'll get results. If it's not converting at a lower spend, right, then you need to figure out why that is, right? If it's not converting at a $25 a day budget, there's something that needs to be worked on in your campaign, whether it's your creative, whether it's, your offer. It could be what you're targeting and who you're targeting that could be throwing it off, but there's something that's disconnected from the message you're putting out there to the audience you actually want to connect with. One way you can, tell if you're spending enough money to reach enough people initially is your cost per impression, right? I'll come back to the screen here and show real quick. I don't want to go too far into the data pool. But let's say, cool. You should be able to see my screen here. But let's say we took that Gottman example from before, right? And so this particular campaign is spending this budget. Oh, this is a CBO budget. So we had a lifetime budget of $467.74, right? That was a lifetime budget. So if I go back to the campaign here, our cost per impression overall was $30.53. And what that means is it's costing us $30 to reach 1,000 people. In the lead generation campaign, right, it was costing us $13 $2.31 to reach 1,000 people. Now, if my budget was $5 and this was my KPI or my CPM, there's no way I would get enough information or conversions to be able to make decisions, right? Because I'm not spending enough money. So $5 a day would probably net me 250 impressions a day. So 250 impressions a day. And this is all math, right? And I'm not gonna do the math here, but 250 impressions a day. And let's say, 2% of them were clicking on the ad, right? And let's say of the 2% who clicked on the ad, 10% opted in, right? So I'm looking at 1 or 2 leads a day, if that. So you want to make sure that you are setting a budget that is realistic and within your means, but also a stretch, right? Because you won't know right out the gate what your CPMs are going to be until things start running. And I think on this campaign, we were spending, how much a day? We had lifetime budget of $400. So we're spending, I think, $20 a day on this campaign. So we were reaching, upwards of 1,500, close to 2,000 people a day with this campaign. So we got enough data, right? So your goal is to make sure, one, you're spending enough money, right? Not crazy amounts of money, but like depending on the campaign. If you're running a conversion campaign, you definitely want to be spending between 15 and 25 minimum per day. Anything less than that, you're not going to get the traffic, or not the traffic, but the exposure that you need. Okay. Cool. So that's all I have for tonight. Let me know if you have questions. Put them in the comments below. I will definitely answer them while I'm on live here. If you're watching the recording, I will answer them throughout the week. But if you have questions, put them in the comments below. This was simply a quick live on 3, things that you can do to get better results with your ad campaigns. Number 1, focusing on the most important metrics, right? What you're looking to accomplish, and are you getting the cost per result that you want? Secondly, recognizing the importance of your ad creative, right? So making sure your ad finds the audience versus the audience finding the ad. And number 3, making sure your ads are converting at a low budget before you start scaling. If they aren't, if they're not converting at your starting budget, don't want to scale up, because it's not going to really do you any service by investing more money in a campaign that isn't actually working. You're going to waste a lot of money. Okay.